Most people know when something feels off, but many people struggle to identify exactly what they're feeling. When we can't name what's happening within us, it makes it difficult for us to understand ourselves, communicate clearly, and respond with intention. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Yvette, and I am a certified social and emotional intelligence coach. And on this channel, we talk all things emotional intelligence. And I am very excited today to talk about a topic that I think people get confused, which is naming your emotions. You've likely seen skits, reels on social media that show people sitting on a couch naming their emotions. I feel sad. I feel frustrated. I feel angry. And it's kind of being like poked fun of, right? Like he's making fun of emotions. But being able to name your emotions is an incredibly powerful and invaluable skill. The question that I have for you though is, who teaches us how to do it? I'll wait for it. That's right, no one. No one teaches us how to name our emotions. We know, at least at some point, we get the sense that we should be able to identify what's happening inside of us, but oftentimes we don't know how to do it. I want to talk a little bit about the value of naming your emotions, being able to have that language. Language is powerful, right? We all generally speak similar languages, right? So when you can speak the same language as another person, it already helps to remove so many barriers to understanding, right? To connecting, to alignment, to being able to empathize. But you can't do that if you speak one language, maybe the language is that you don't know emotional language and the other person does. So the first thing I want to talk about is how naming your emotions helps you to understand yourself more clearly. So when you can name an emotion, it helps you to connect with yourself, right? You identify within yourself, okay, I feel this. This is what's happening inside of me right now. These are the signs that my body is telling me that I feel angry, that I feel despair, right? A really deep emotion. And you have that language first. And then after you have the language, you can have some kind of internal reflection within yourself and identify where that emotion is coming from and why you might feel the way that you do, what you can do about it. But you can't do any of that if you can't name what you're feeling in the first place. Understand what's happening for you physiologically, emotionally, situationally. It really helps you to get grounded in what is happening right now, right? The second thing about being able to name your emotions is that it helps you to connect with your physiological experience. So if you are feeling tension, right, in your hands, if you are feeling your heart racing, if you're feeling that your body's shaking, all of those physiological things tell you that you're feeling something. But remember, you want to be able to name it. So you have to pay attention to your body, recognize what's happening, what your body's telling you. Think about how your body feels when you're happy, when you're excited, when you feel really good, right? I think that for me, just really big smiles, feeling like a sense of euphoria, just like peace, safety. Those are some of the things that come to mind when I'm happy, right? And my body tells me that. I feel upbeat, I feel perky, I feel energized. But what about when you feel scared? What does your body tell you? You might feel like a uncomfortable pain in your stomach or something like that that's telling you, oh no, something's wrong. But you want to tie those two things together because your body actually tells you what's happening before you have a name for it. Your body gives you signs, okay? So naming your emotions helps you to connect with your physiological experience. So then the third point, the third value in being able to name your emotions is that it helps you to improve your communication and your relationships. Who doesn't want to have improved communication and stronger, more solidified, meaningful, beneficial relationships, right? I think we all do. And so when you can name your emotions, you're on a path to being able to have improved relationships, new relationships that may be better than ones that you've had in the past. Communication that's effective, that's understood by simply being able to name your emotions. And I said simply, but it's not that simple. And remember, there was no class that we took that taught us how to name our emotions. We generally learn from other people, right? Or we recognize at some point in our young adulthood that we don't know what's happening inside of us and we don't have language for it and we need to get it. Probably to get a job, keep a job, get a relationship, keep a relationship, right? And so when you are able to name your emotions, you become a better communicator because you are aligned with what's happening inside of you and you can communicate that outwardly. And when you have effective communication with the world externally, you are more likely to have meaningful relationships, improved relationships. So that's a gift. It's a gift, right? Okay, so we're talking about being able to name emotions, the power of it, the value of it. So now you're probably wondering how to start naming your emotions because who taught us this stuff, right? Nobody. But we're learning now and it's never too late, okay? The first thing is that you can pause before reacting. Pause before reacting and check in with yourself to see how you're feeling. If you Google how to start naming your emotions, that's probably going to come up. I don't really love it, but I wanted to mention it because for some people it may be helpful. But when we are emotionally aroused, oftentimes we are not thinking about pausing. And if we are, we're too triggered to be able to do that. I truly think there's a ton of value in pausing after. Pausing after a situation happens. Pausing after an interaction and checking in with yourself. How do I feel about that situation? How did I show up? Asking yourself those self-evaluating, self-reflective questions. What did I say? What did they say? How did that make me feel? What was my body doing? Was I sweating? Did I cry? You ask yourself those things as well, okay? So that's the first step in being able to name your emotions. The second one is that you want to get more specific. When you start using the language, you want to get more specific. So instead of saying, I feel frustrated, which is like a first level emotion, you want to ask yourself one question. It's very easy. It's actually one word. Why? Okay? So I feel frustrated. I feel frustrated because Amy called me out in front of everyone in the office and I was embarrassed. There's the emotion. I feel embarrassed by what happened in that situation. Okay? So use the word why. Question yourself one time and you'll likely get deeper into what you're feeling. So that's the second step. Be more specific. Okay? Not just I feel frustrated, not just I feel sad, but try to get deeper. I feel sad. Why? Because I'm afraid that I'm going to lose this person. So you don't really feel sad, you feel afraid. Okay? So you want to ask yourself why one time. I really like that step. Okay, the third step, pay attention to your body. Try to pay attention to your body. Remember, you can always do this after, but pay attention to your body in the moment. I've been in some interesting conflict conversations where I could tell that I was feeling very strong emotions about the situation because of how my body was reacting. I felt my heart beating faster, right? I felt myself sweating. And I think that those are the physiological responses that we need to pay attention to. Even if in the moment you can't do anything about it, just take a mental note. Okay, I'm feeling this, or this is what my body is telling me. This is what it's doing. And then after, you can pause and reflect. So those are 3 steps to get you started in naming your emotions. So I would like to invite you to consider the next conversation, interaction that you have with someone, even if you're by yourself and you're reflecting. I would love for you to pause and reflect. Think about the situation that happened and how you felt. Give yourself a first emotion, whatever comes to mind. And there are tons of resources online. They're called emotion wheels, where you can see emotions that you didn't even know existed, like the language is there. And so that's a really excellent reference for you as well, okay? So the challenge is to pull up the emotion wheel, pause and reflect. Think back to the situation, even if it just happened. How did you feel? Look at the first emotion that comes to mind and then ask yourself why. And take some time to really give language to that experience. And you'll be well on your way to the improved relationship, being more connected with yourself, and being a more effective communicator. We'd love for you to try this in the next 3 days, okay? Check out, do a quick Google search, and emotion wheel, and see what comes up. Sit with yourself. Emotional intelligence is all about self first, okay? Sit with yourself and do this great work so that you can name your emotions and take one step to improve relationships, communication, and just feeling really good about who you are. Remember, emotional intelligence is a difference maker. And doing these things, improving your emotional intelligence, developing your emotional intelligence, can pay tremendous dividends, okay? Until next time, like, subscribe, watch another video, share, do all the things. Take care.